When Apple first introduced the M1 Max, it completely changed the game. Laptops were suddenly capable of doing what only Mac Pros or iMac Pros could do before. But here's the thing, while these chips are insanely powerful, they are not for everyone. So who are these MacBook Pros really for? Let's break it down. Let's go back to when the M1 Max launched. For the first time, creators and professionals had a laptop that didn't just handle heavy workloads, it completely dominated them. Video editing, 3D rendering, multitasking, tasks that used to demand massive and expensive desktops were now portable. It was a massive leap forward, and the Max chip lineup became the go-to for professionals or anyone who needed power on the go. Take MKBHD for example. He used to travel with a massive 27-inch iMac Pro just to edit and export videos faster. So Apple truly changed everything with its silicon chips. But fast forward to 2024, almost 2025, the M3 Max has been my daily driver for nearly a year. And Apple just launched the M4 Max. The question is, does the MacBook Pro with the Max chip still live up to its reputation? And more importantly, who actually needs it today? Now, since the launch of the M1 Max in 2021, we've seen a steady evolution. The M2 Max was a nice upgrade, then came the M3 Max, which brought a huge leap forward in both multi-core and GPU performance. Now, with the new M4 chip, we see a substantial increase in single-core performance, the biggest jump so far, but not as much improvement in multi-core or GPU performance compared to the M3 Max. Bear in mind that we are talking specifically about the Max chip, because the M4 and M4 Pro represent the biggest leap ever and are probably the best deals from Apple since the launch of the Apple Silicon. Now, just to put things into perspective, the M4 Max has roughly double the performance of the M1 Max chip, which, let's not forget, was already revolutionary when it launched just 3 years ago. Now let's talk about who the MacBook Pro with the Max chips are really for. And in my opinion, there are two types of people who should consider it. The first, if you're a professional, a creator, or you have a business that depends on speed and efficiency and you need portability. Whether you're editing 4K footage, working with heavy color grading, or managing multiple projects at once, the Max chip can completely transform your workflow. I've experienced this firsthand, and I don't even have the heaviest workload. For me, editing S-Log3 4K footage with heavy color grading, running multiple Chrome tabs, and jumping between apps, it's seamless. Hey guys, I'm sorry for the cut, but I figured that since I'm actually editing this same video and I'm actually having everything working at the same time here on my M3 Max, I just want to show you in real world actually happening. So let me show you. Okay, so this is the final cut session, and this is the video that we're watching right now, and it already has the color grading and everything working just fine. Of course, there's a lot of stuff missing, like sound treatment and whatnot, but it will work just fine. Let me just show you what is happening more here. Because there's this Safari tab, open it, just one tab. There's this is a Chrome with, I don't know, maybe 15 tabs, open it. Notes, ChatGPT. This is some research that I'm doing for a next video. And I don't know, maybe 20 or more tabs, open it. And there's another Chrome with, I don't know, maybe 15 tabs, open it. And everything is working at the same time and no issues, no problem. And the fans so far, nothing. And the temperature, normal. Just to show you in a real world scenario, this is what I usually do. This is my usual workflow. Well, not with so many tabs open, but you get the point. Okay, back to the video now. And here's the real advantage. I don't need to think about the computer. I just focus on creating. What I mean is, when I'm in the final stages of editing, for example, with lots of processing already applied, if I decide to add heavy motion effects or something complex, I just do it, even in playback mode, and it works flawlessly. And that is something I'm willing to pay for, as a creator who needs to publish content twice a week and values and needs portability. Then there's the other group. People who don't necessarily need this power, but can afford it. And that's fine too. If you're buying it simply because you want the best, the MacBook Pro with the Max chip won't disappoint. It will be overkill for most tasks, but it's a luxury some people are willing to pay for. And if you can afford it, by all means, just go for it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In 2024, the MacBook Pro with the Max chip isn't always the smarter choice, especially with this huge price tag. As amazing as these chips are, they are not completely perfect in the MacBook Pro. The fans kicking in and slight overheating, it's rare, but does happen. Even in my M3 Max. And if your workflow pushes the machine even harder, you might notice these limits more often. And this is where the size of a desktop makes a difference. If portability isn't a priority for you, the Mac Studio with the Max chip or even the Ultra, it's a much better deal. It's cheaper, has better cooling, and comes with more ports. Plus, thanks to its larger design, the performance is more consistent under heavy workloads. I mean, in 8 months of using my MacBook Pro 14-inch M3 Max bin version, I've only had the fans kick in like really loud a few times, like 3 or 4 times, which isn't a lot, but it still highlights the physical limitation of a compact 14-inch laptop. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying this is a constant issue or a problem with the MacBook Pro itself, nor that the MacBook Pro with the Max chips overheats or has any flaws. It's a fantastic machine and I love it. It's just physics. The compact design of a laptop naturally makes it more prone to heating up under certain conditions. And for me, I'm totally okay with that, because it doesn't impact performance, not for what I do anyway. And the size, portability and great display make it worth it. But if you don't need to carry your power with you, desktops are a no-brainer, especially now with the Mac Mini M4 Pro and the upcoming Mac Studio with the M4 chip, which will likely be a beast of a machine. Now let's just talk about why having performance above your needs isn't necessarily overkill, and it's actually an investment. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm all about smart buying decisions. That means not overspending on things you don't need, especially with all the hype around Apple products. But there's one exception, when it comes to your business and improving your workflow. When your machine is faster than what your tasks demand, everything feels effortless. You save time, avoid frustration, and focus entirely on your work. For creators and business owners, this translates to real results. Finishing projects faster, rendering in half the time, multitasking without limits. It's a productivity boost that can pay for itself over time. And it might even lower costs in the long run, because instead of upgrading to 2 Pro chips over 3 or 4 years, you're buying one Max chip that can last 6, 7 or even more years. So who is the MacBook Pro with the Max chip really for? I believe the only ones who should consider it are professionals. People who use MacBooks for a living, need portability and work with demanding workflows. For those people, the Max chip is a good investment. But for most others, the M4 or the M4 Pro is more than enough. And if you don't need portability, just save your money and go for a Mac Mini or Mac Studio. You'll get better performance for less, and it will handle even the thuggest tasks with ease. Not to mention the M2 Pro, M3 Max, and so on. And that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.